Welcome to the Power Book of Podcasts. Unlock your potential with powerful book summaries that inspire personal growth and broaden your understanding of the world. Each week, we explore life-changing ideas, from leadership to mindset strategies to keys for happiness and success. Learn actionable insights to apply in your daily life. Join our growing community of thinkers and seekers. Like, comment, and hit that subscribe button now. It's time to supercharge your mind with the Power Book of Podcasts.
All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving deep into the world of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ooh, this is going to be good.
It is. We've got excerpts from his biography here.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it is a wild ride.
I bet. His story is incredible. I think what gets me, what I find fascinating is just how much his childhood back in Madeira seems to have, shaped everything.
Yeah. I mean, Madeira, for people who don't know, is a Portuguese island. And his family, they lived in poverty.
Real poverty.
Yeah. The book says they were sharing a single house with 12 people, no electricity, no running water.
It's hard to imagine.
Yeah. And actually, his mother, Dolores, she almost took her own life because of all this hardship.
It makes you think, how did she find the strength to, keep going?
We'll keep going, yeah. I don't know. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
But here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
So his father, Dennis,
was the kit man.
Right?
At the local club and arena.
Yeah.
He loved football, but also struggled with alcoholism. The biography tells this story about Cristiano's baptism.
Okay.
Where Dennis was late.
Oh, no.
Because of a football match?
Of course. It's almost symbolic, isn't it? Even as a baby.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's surrounded by football.
It's destiny almost.
Yeah. Crazy.
And it wasn't just his dad. So there's this story where he was gifted a toy car as a child.
Okay.
And he apparently threw a tantrum.
No way.
A full-on tantrum demanding a football instead.
Oh, wow.
Talk about passion.
Yeah. Clearly, this is a kid who was born to play. But I think what's important is it's not just organized football, right? The book really emphasizes this. Street football was massive in developing his skills. And, that sort of relentless competitive spirit.
Yeah. I've heard street football is just, it's different.
It's a different beast.
It's raw. It's unpredictable. Yeah. It makes you think on your feet, You have to improvise.
Yeah.
And one of his early coaches described him as a player from the street.
Yeah.
Meaning he had this unique, set of skills and instincts that you just couldn't teach.
Right. It's innate.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, how does he go from, the streets of Madeira to global superstardom?
Well, he kind of climbs the ranks, starts with these local clubs and arena, then national.
Okay.
And it's a national that his godfather, Fernando Sousa, gives him his first proper football. A €5 wonder that Ronaldo apparently treated like gold.
I love that. So he's killing it in these local clubs.
He's tearing it up.
What happens next?
So then he makes a big move. He's only 12 years old.
Wow.
And he leaves his family to join the Sporting Lisbon Academy.
Can you imagine at 12?
I can't even imagine.
The pressure.
The pressure, leaving your family at that age.
Yeah. And the book talks about his mother's, tearful goodbye at the airport.
Oh, it must have been heartbreaking.
Yeah.
For both of them.
Absolutely. But Sporting knew what they had. They knew they had a gem on their hands.
They had a star, yeah.
The deal they made even stipulated that his salary would be paid directly into a family account.
Wow.
So they were serious.
Serious about his potential.
Yeah. So clearly they saw something special. Was he always this, perfect player that we see today?
Not quite. He had that classic, it's all about me attitude.
Right.
You see in a lot of young players who are, really gifted.
Yeah.
His coaches at National, they really had to work on teaching him teamwork.
It's funny to picture a young Ronaldo reluctant to pass the ball.
I know, right?
But I guess when you're that good, it's why pass?
You just want to do it all yourself. Yeah. But they knew he had to adapt, to thrive in a team.
Right.
That's a big theme throughout his whole career.
Yeah. So he moves to Sporting Lisbon.
Yep.
And then what? Smooth sailing.
Not really. Life at the academy was tough.
Yeah.
Homesickness.
Yeah.
disciplinary issues. He even got in trouble for stealing snacks from his teammates.
It sounds like a typical teenager.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was just a kid, but,
Yeah.
the club saw his potential and they stuck with him.
Yeah.
And that's when things really started to change.
Okay.
He made this pact with the club, decided to focus on his football.
Okay.
Let his dedication shine.
I like it.
Yeah.
So what happened? What was the result of all this focus?
He scored his first goal for Sporting. He describes it in the book as just like pure euphoria. Like one of the best moments of his life.
There's nothing like scoring a goal.
Nothing like it, especially your first.
Right.
And his success just continued. He debuted against Inter Milan. Imagine that. And then scores his first cup goals.
Nice.
And his mother actually fainted in the stands from excitement.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a proud mom moment.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And it was that performance against Inter Milan that really caught the eye of Manchester United, right?
Yeah, Manchester United.
Setting the stage for this whole next chapter.
They played against him in a friendly match against Sporting.
Yeah.
And they were blown away. I mean, the book actually has quotes.
Oh, really?
From several of the players.
Oh, wow.
Describing their reactions. Rio Ferdinand was struck by his long limbs and funny hair.
I love it.
And Phil Neville thought, with a name like that, he's got to produce.
That's true. Yeah.
And produce. He did. Quentin Fortune was like the stepovers, the tricks, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But Gary Neville, he was impressed by this run off the ball, a double movement that showed like incredible awareness and tactical intelligence. It wasn't just flashy skills.
Right.
They saw like a football mind at work.
Yeah. Amazing how like quickly they recognized his potential.
Yeah. But it wasn't just talent. His personality made a huge impact.
What do you mean?
This mix of confidence and like naivete. Roy Keane described him as good looking and he knew it, but also like possessing this innocence to him and a niceness.
It's hard to imagine someone like Cristiano Ronaldo being nice.
Right. Yeah. But it was apparently like charming.
Interesting. So he joins Manchester United. What happens next? Does he slide right in or was it a little...
Well, he did choose David Beckham's old locker.
Ooh, I heard about this.
Which earned him some teasing from the teammates.
I bet.
You can imagine the audacity, stepping into Beckham's shoes. Literally.
All right, you've got to tell me about this mirror episode.
Oh, yeah. Mirror episode.
Yeah.
So apparently he spent like a lot of time admiring himself in the mirror.
Okay.
Which rubs some players the wrong way.
Yeah.
But, those who knew him best understood.
Okay.
It wasn't just vanity.
Right.
It was part of his self-belief, his conviction that he was, destined for greatness.
Okay, so maybe a little bit of an ego.
Yeah.
But an incredible work ethic as well, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And that kind of brings us to, I think, a pivotal relationship in his development.
Yeah.
Sir Alex Ferguson.
Sir Alex, the legendary manager.
Yeah. What was their dynamic like?
It was fascinating. Almost like a father and son.
Really?
Yeah. Ferguson understood that Ronaldo needed, like, tough love.
Okay.
Guidance, but a firm hand as well.
Wasn't there that crybaby incident?
Oh, yeah. The crybaby incident. So, Ronaldo's getting criticized for diving.
Yeah.
And Ferguson doesn't shy away from confronting him about it.
Right.
He makes it clear that kind of, theatrics won't be tolerated.
Yeah. It's interesting, like, even publicly, he would question Ronaldo's decisions in games.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why he would dribble instead of crossing.
Yeah, like explaining the nuances of English football.
Right.
But he'd always follow up those public criticisms with, like, private explanations.
Okay.
Making sure that Ronaldo understood.
Right.
Without feeling, like, demoralized,
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like he really knew how to get the best out of him.
He did. And Ronaldo thrived. And what's interesting is, like, his work ethic and his constant desire to improve actually rubbed off on the other players.
Oh, wow.
It changed the culture at Manchester United.
It's amazing how one player's dedication can have that ripple effect.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
Speaking of dedication, this book talks about his training regimen.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds almost obsessive.
It was. Extra free kicks, hill sprints, practicing skills in solitude. He was relentless.
No kidding.
Yeah. The goalkeeper, Edwin van der Sar, he used to joke about Ronaldo always wanting to practice free kicks against him.
Okay.
He was like, But Ronnie, you never score against me.
And what did Ronaldo say?
He just said, like, you wait. I'll score.
And he just had that belief, right?
Unwavering belief.
It's like he willed himself to be the best.
He did.
It's kind of inspiring in a way.
It is. It is.
But it wasn't all just skills, right?
Right,
like, he worked tirelessly to improve, like
his physicality,
yeah,
tactical understanding.
Yeah.
You know, Mike Phelan, one of the coaches, worked really closely with him.
Okay.
He described it as both like challenging and rewarding.
Yeah.
Because Ronaldo's constantly pushing boundaries. Yeah. Finding ways to elevate his game.
It's incredible to think that someone at that level is still so hungry to improve.
It's amazing. But it wasn't all just about football, you know?
Yeah.
The book also talks about Ronaldo's incredible generosity towards his family.
Okay, yeah.
He buys his mother houses and cars, sets up businesses for his sisters.
Wow.
He wanted to share his success.
That's great.
Yeah.
It adds another dimension to him.
It does. And it makes his relationship with his father, Dinas, even more, poignant. Despite Dinas's struggles with alcoholism, he loved his son deeply.
Yeah.
And his death in 2005 had a huge impact on Ronaldo. The book talks about Ronaldo's vulnerability. Okay. Like how he tried to hide his tears after his father's passing. Yeah. It's a reminder that, even these global icons experience grief and loss.
Yeah, it puts things in perspective for sure.
It does.
So he's dealing with all this, right, this tragedy. Yeah. And at the same time, his fame is like skyrocketing. What was that like for him?
So he went on this trip to East Timor.
Okay.
And he was overwhelmed by the adoration of the fans.
Yeah.
Thousands lined the streets just to see him.
It's wild.
Is a turning point. He realized like his global impact and the responsibility that came with it. Imagine going from a childhood of poverty to being adored by millions worldwide.
It's a lot to process.
It is. It is.
So all this success, all this fame, this drive, it makes you think, where does it all come from?
Yeah. Some psychologists believe that Ronaldo's constant pursuit of self-improvement, right? It stems from like a deep-seated insecurity.
Really?
A fear of failure. Like he's always trying to prove himself.
Wow.
Not just to the world, but to himself.
It's like that feeling of never being satisfied, always seeking the next challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you wonder, can someone so driven ever truly find, contentment?
That's a good question. A good question.
Yeah, that's a question for another time, maybe.
Yeah.
We've covered so much ground already.
I know. It's incredible.
This whole journey from Madeira to Manchester United.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Next, we're going to dive into his time at Real Madrid.
The
Galacticos. The record-breaking transfer fee, the pressure, the clashes, the triumphs. It's a whole other level.
Oh, I can't wait. But for now, let's take a breath. Let all this sink in.
So, Real Madrid, the Galacticos. Talk about pressure.
Yeah. A whole different world than Manchester United. What was Ronaldo's first season like?
Well, he joined under Manuel Pellegrini.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, how much respect he showed for the established hierarchy, especially Raul.
Yeah, Raul was a legend at Real Madrid. Makes sense that even Ronaldo wouldn't want to step on any toes right away.
Exactly. He understood the dynamics, fitting in. But Pellegrini actually wanted to play Ronaldo as a number 9.
As a number 9, right? The traditional center forward, like the main goal scorer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. It makes sense, considering Ronaldo's, talent for scoring goals. Did it work?
Not really.
Yeah.
He couldn't fully implement it because of the existing team structure.
Yeah.
They ended up with Ronaldo on the left wing, Kaká on the right, and Benzema central.
Okay. So, a pretty potent attacking trio, but it didn't lead to instant success.
Not quite. They racked up goals, sure, but the defense wasn't as solid. Despite outscoring Barcelona, they lost the league title that year.
Wow. That must have been frustrating for Ronaldo, especially with his competitive nature. And what about the Champions League? Weren't they knocked out by Lyon?
Yeah, they were. And the book really highlights Ronaldo's frustration with the team's performance. It was clear he wasn't satisfied with just individual accolades. He wanted trophies.
So not exactly the dream start in Madrid. Did things improve in his second season?
Well, that's when Jose Mourinho arrived.
Okay.
And that marked the beginning of a pretty turbulent relationship.
Mourinho, the special one, known for his tactical genius, but also his strong personality. I can imagine those two personalities might clash a little bit.
It was almost inevitable. 2 alpha males.
Yeah.
Both used to being in control.
Yeah.
a recipe for fireworks.
So give me an example. What kind of fireworks are we talking about?
Well, there was this incident where Ronaldo refused to take photos with fans after a draw against Espanyol. He was fuming about the result. And he actually told the goalkeeper, Jerzy Dudek, I'm not here to take fucking photos. I'm here to win games.
Whoa, okay. So it sounds like he was placing the blame on the team rather than, taking any responsibility himself.
Yeah, that outburst kind of sums up his mindset. Anything less than victory was unacceptable.
And the tension with Mourinho just kept building.
Oh, yeah. They clashed over tactics. There was public criticism. And eventually their relationship just completely broke down.
I bet the atmosphere in that Real Madrid dressing room was pretty thick.
Oh, you can imagine. And then you have Jorge Mendes, Ronaldo's agent, stuck in the middle.
Right, Mendes, the super agent.
The ultimate power broker in football, always looking out for his clients' interests. He had to tread very carefully.
So how did this whole power struggle play out? Who won?
Well, there was this pivotal moment, almost like a symbolic breaking point. It's been dubbed the Fodese incident.
The Fodese incident.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So Ronaldo scores his 200th goal for Real Madrid.
That's incredible. Remarkable achievement. But instead of celebrating, he angrily shouts, Fodese!
Which basically means...
Basically means, fuck you, while pointing at his badge and then at the ground.
Wow. Who is that directed at? The fans? His teammates, Mourinho.
Oh, there was no doubt. It was aimed at Mourinho as a public declaration of defiance, a message that he was done with the manager's criticisms and tactics.
Wasn't that a risky move? I mean, didn't he risk alienating his teammates or the fans by, publicly challenging the manager like that?
It was definitely a power move, and the media had a field day, analyzing it as a fight between alpha males.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it led to Mourinho's departure from Real Madrid. He couldn't coexist with a player who so openly challenged his authority.
So Ronaldo won that particular battle, but at what cost? Did this public feud damage his reputation within the team or with the fans?
It's hard to say for sure, but the book does suggest that while Real Madrid fans appreciated his talent, they never fully embraced him the way they did some other club legends.
Interesting. So despite all the individual awards, he was never quite seen as a true Madridista.
There was this sense that he was prioritizing individual glory over team success.
It's interesting because, despite all the individual awards, he has always played on a team. It's impossible to achieve what he has without the support of your teammates.
That's a good point. And that tension between his personal ambition and the need for collective achievement, it was a recurring theme in his career.
It is. So after Mourinho left, what happened?
Well, Carlo Ancelotti arrived, and he brought a more relaxed approach to management.
Ancelotti is known for his ability to manage big personalities.
Exactly. One of the first things he did was have a conversation with Ronaldo about his preferred position. And surprisingly, Ronaldo expressed a desire to play on the wing rather than as a central striker.
That does seem kind of counterintuitive considering his scoring record. What was his reasoning?
Well, it seems he understood that he could be more effective, starting from the wing, cutting inside, using his pace and dribbling skills to create chances for himself and others.
So it shows a certain self-awareness, a willingness to adapt for the good of the team.
I think so. And this tactical shift coincided with the arrival of another world-class attacking player, Gareth Bale.
Ah, Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
Now, there's a name that's sure to spark some debate. What was their relationship like?
That, my friend, is a story for part 3.
Okay, so we've got Ronaldo adapting his game, moving to the wing, and then enters Gareth Bale. Two megastars on the same team. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, it definitely created a really interesting dynamic, Two incredibly talented, ambitious players.
Right.
Both capable of winning matches single-handedly.
So did they clash or did they collaborate?
A little of both, honestly. I mean, their combined firepower was just undeniable. I mean, they could tear defenses apart with their speed, their skill, and of course, their goal-scoring ability.
I mean, Real Madrid fans must have been treated to some incredible football during that time.
Yeah, some incredible displays of attacking football for sure. But you mentioned tension earlier.
Right. What kind of tension?
There was this underlying, competition for the spotlight, of vying for dominance, especially when it came to free kicks.
Oh, right. I remember reading about that. Didn't Ronaldo, have a bit of a meltdown when Bale took a free kick during a match?
Oh, he did. He did. Ronaldo was used to being, the undisputed set-piece specialist, the go-to guy for free kicks, penalties, you name it.
Right.
But then here comes Bale, who statistically was actually the more effective free kick taker at that time.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Ronaldo's going through a bit of a slump. Hadn't scored a free kick in La Liga for over a year.
So even Ronaldo has his off days.
Even Ronaldo, right.
But he still wanted to be the guy.
It seems so. It makes you wonder, was this, insistence on taking free kicks even when he was struggling, was that partly fueled by this need to, maintain this image of perfection?
Right, because the book talks about how Ronaldo uses football as a tool for self-improvement.
Exactly.
So maybe letting Bale take the free kicks felt like admitting a flaw.
Right.
And that just doesn't fit with Ronaldo's self-image.
Doesn't compute, right?
Yeah. It's fascinating, though, to think about, like, the psychology behind all of this.
Yeah.
But amidst all this personal drama, how was the team performing? Were they winning trophies?
Well, they did win the Copa del Rey in Bale's first season.
Okay.
But, they hadn't quite reached that next level of consistent success in Europe.
Right.
Then came 2014.
Okay.
Champions League final.
Yeah.
In Lisbon.
Lisbon, the city where it all began for him.
Right. Full circle. Must have been such an emotional experience.
I bet.
And, he rose to the occasion, led Real Madrid to victory. He even scored the final penalty.
Wow.
In the shootout to clinch the title.
So dramatic. And then, of course, that iconic shirtless celebration after the final penalty.
Classic Ronaldo.
Was that pure elation or a calculated move, to grab the spotlight?
It's hard to say for sure. The book does mention that Ronaldo likes the occasion.
Meaning?
He thrives in those big moments when the world is watching.
Right. And maybe for someone as driven by self-improvement as him,
Yeah.
those moments of individual triumph are the ultimate validation.
Yeah. Like he's saying, look what I've achieved. Look how far I've come.
Exactly. Yeah. And speaking of achievements, Ronaldo finally won his second Ballon d'Or that year.
Oh, yeah.
2013.
Big moment.
His reaction was incredibly emotional. It was like he was so focused on catching Messi, and when he finally did, it was
the relief.
The
joy, you could see it.
It clearly meant the world to him. But his playing style was also evolving during this period, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was getting more involved in build-up play, getting more assists. Was that like a response to the competition from Bale?
Well, some people think so. Like he was consciously expanding his game to, remain the dominant force on the team. But it could also have been Ancelotti's influence, right?
Right.
He was known for encouraging his players to be, more well-rounded.
Yeah. It's probably a bit of both, honestly. But what's clear is that Ronaldo never stopped evolving.
Never stopped pushing himself.
Never stopped pushing himself, exactly. But as he entered his 30s, people started to wonder about his longevity.
Yeah.
Right. Could he maintain that explosive, individualistic style?
A good question.
As his physicality inevitably declined.
Especially with Messi seemingly adapting his game, right? Becoming more of a playmaker.
Right.
Messi seemed to be embracing different roles as he, got a little older. His physical attributes changed.
Yeah.
But Ronaldo remained committed to his style.
Right.
Still taking a ton of shots, still relying on his pace and power.
Yeah. I mean, it made everyone wonder, could he age gracefully? Or would he burn out?
Yeah. And then there were all those rumors about a return to Manchester United.
Right.
A place where he always felt loved and appreciated.
Yeah. Did that ever happen?
Well, the book doesn't really cover that period, so we don't know for sure.
Right.
But the thought of him going back to Old Trafford, closing the loop on his incredible journey does have a certain romantic appeal, doesn't it?
It would be quite the storybook ending.
Yeah.
So what have we learned about Cristiano Ronaldo from this deep dive?
Well, he's clearly a complex character, right? Driven by this almost insatiable desire for self-improvement, fueled by, this mix of talent, hard work, and perhaps a touch of insecurity.
Right.
He's achieved incredible things, but seems to really struggle with the idea of sharing the spotlight.
It makes you wonder if someone so focused on individual greatness can ever truly find fulfillment, in those collective achievements of a team.
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is. And it's something to think about as we, continue to watch Ronaldo's story unfold.
Absolutely.
Well said. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the world of Cristiano Ronaldo. We've covered his childhood, his rise to fame, his triumphs, his struggles, and everything in between. It's been quite a journey.
It has. He's a fascinating figure. And his story is far from over.
And that's what makes it so compelling. Until next time, keep exploring.